What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you. Well, it is Wednesday night. That means it's time for these NNR Xfinity guys take to the Monster Mile. The Concrete Canyon, a bit bigger than Bristol by double in length. But, man, the concrete around here is fierce. Going to find out who's going to be able to keep old Miles the Monster away from picking their car up in his clutches, crush that thing to like a tin can, set it back down. Man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to every single bit of it. I hope you are as well. Gonna have the one and only famed driver, that Deuce in the Cup Series, also East Park driver. Seen him around other places as well. Old Stout Whiskey's gonna be in the booth with me. The one and only Rick James needed to take the night off. Worm Rider, Lions Pride Gaming, thank you very much for coming out and hanging out. Definitely going to be great to, have you along. I know, Worm, you're carrying the American Ethanol race from Sonoma, so we're going from the East Coast to the West Coast once these NNR boys are done here from Dover. So, man, it's good. We got about 200 laps. We're getting ready to get done. Get in the books. We saw the one and only Cole 315 win his first NNR race last week from the Roval. So big congrats again to Cole. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there. I was off with the missus doing our anniversary thing, but it was I was able to catch quite a bit of it from Rick James's channel. So again, big shout out to Rick James and Vols and Lucky Dog and everybody else that was able to stream and help me out. Originally, when the schedule was announced, I did let Coey and Stout and all these other guys know that I was not going to be there, and originally that week was going to go unstreamed. So it was pretty big of Rick James to step on up with those that came into the booth with him to cover last week. Definitely appreciate it. Also, next time you see Rick James, give him a big old congratulations for making it to the affiliate level. He's NNR's newest affiliate, so when you see him, don't be afraid to pass on those bits. That subscribe button if you can. I know he'll absolutely appreciate it. Well, Stout Whiskey, 200 laps here, concrete. This is a very self-cleaning track. We saw a pretty good race last night in the trucks. How you feeling tonight, buddy?
Well, first of all, Pete, I'm really excited to be back in the booth with you, man. Reaching out to me last night, especially because Rick's got his own thing going on tonight over on Forza with the Indy cars. So yeah, man, this is just like last year, man. We'll be up in the booth. We'll talk about the action that's out on the track, and we'll probably talk about some 80s and 90s NASCAR because we sure as hell missed that style of racing. But really excited. Miles is a beast. This track drives differently than it did on NASCAR Heat 4. Presets, for what it's worth, you get really loose off the exit of the corner on presets. So really going to have to keep our eye on that. And, these guys are going to be fighting their car for 200 laps.
Yeah, 200 grueling laps. I was actually just watching Combat Beast. He's going to be able to stream for us tonight, give us an idea about what we've got on store for laps per fuel tank and tire wear and all that. Last night in the trucks, it absolutely came down to a fuel race, and some of the guys that said they don't like running any kind of fuel management, they'd rather just go flat out, admitted to having to save just a little bit, including the guy that went on to win it. So, man, it was great last night. We got a slightly larger field tonight. I believe we got between 20 and 25 cars that'll be on track. And Miles is getting closer and closer to waving that green flag, just waiting for that ever important
Invite?
There we go, invite. Yeah, that thing. Let me actually reach out to them right now because I don't see it forthcoming yet, and kind of just give them a quick reminder. I will be right back. Never mind. J-Pod just hit me up with it. All right, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that.
As we're loading in here, Pete, I just want to give an update on the points situation here. So the cool thing with the points, the cool thing with the points here in the Xfinity is, if you look at that list, you see the group of guys that were that are in Xfinity, that raced in Xfinity last year. Then also you've got in there a mix of new guys that's come in and ran really well. You got Q Dogs, who's leading the points, who's just been, he still doesn't have that victory, but Q Dogs has just been so freaking just precise on getting good finishes. He's got the most race points. You got Master Killer there in second, who is a veteran of the Xfinity series here in NNR. And then, three new guys after them, and King Mathers in third, Commander Griffin fourth, and Combat Beast in fifth. So really the top five are the point spread is only 23 points. So that's really only one race. I mean, so it's really tight up top. That's awesome. That's what you want to see. And it's just I'm really looking forward to calling the race week tonight and seeing how these guys do it.
Well, I'll tell you one person that's going to be kind of glad to see this poll that's going to be the 47 Trump 2020 machine of Bill's Legend. As you see Iron Man out there in chat saying, what's up, Stout? Unforgotten Shadow also out there saying, ready to watch myself race. So, yeah, we got the 47 of Bill's Legend. He's going to be sitting on the pole. 13 of Commando Grip. You just mentioned him. He's going to be on the outside. Then we got the 98 of Master Killer, another hashtag JPOW Militia member, sitting there in P3. Combat Beast, you just mentioned him, sitting about P5 in points. He's going to start off P4. Got the 15 of King Mathers, another one you just mentioned. Got the 9 of Q-Dog, your series leader right now. 38 of Outlawed Beast. 22 of Yotes King, making his first Xfinity race after stepping up from the trucks in order to meet some family obligations. Got the 5 of Little Tank, Dark Spartan in the 21, LXTX7 in that 0. Cole 315, last week's winner from the Roval, 16 of Budrow, 18 of Blitzkrieg, 36 of Classic Stu, 99 of Zachary Jason making his way back to NNR, 54 of Abar, forever strong in that Twix machine. 68 of Duchev, he's making his first NNR race. 20 of Jay Gimbel, did pretty well on iRacing last week. Actually won the PSES inaugural race from Daytona. Good job by him. They've got 44 of Baritone Boss that chose to start in the rear. And then the 7 of JR Big Dogs, making his first start also in NNR, moving up from Papa Bears turned down for what league? And then you got the 51 of Honeycutt, and we're back up front with that 47 of Bill's Legend. And Stout with the last, I went through the field, took a lap or two, but Bill's already got the entire field just about single file behind him.
Yeah, well, the good thing is, this really is a single groove track. These guys got in line very quickly. Just to ride around here as we see Combat Beast making a move on Master Killer back there for third place, and he gets back in line. But one thing we mentioned was, when you were calling out the lineup, well, the top 6 in points, guess what? They were the top 6 qualifiers. So, some of these other guys are going to have to step up if they plan on making any ground up on these guys. You mentioned Big Dogs. Dogs, he reached out to me, wanted to join NNR. He's a fantastic racer. I've only raced one race over and turned down for Papa Bears League. He finished. I actually was lucky enough to win that race. Big Dogs finished second at Auto Club, but I know he's been tearing it up over there. And I'm not sure of the name of the league, but I know him, and I think it's Mr. Pearson and other Big Dogs. They've actually started their own league too, and they're racing on 3 different nights with trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. So it's a lot of talent here, man, in the Xfinity series. These guys could go and race in any Cup series or race in any other league and dominate. So, to have all this talent here in one place, NNR is just extremely lucky.
Absolutely. That's why, me and, HD, when he was broadcasting, when I first started with him, I picked it up from him, saying NNR is the best on preset. In fact, you know what? It was kind of interesting to see the one and only Tedeschi put it in a Facebook message not too long ago. Somebody put the idea out there of creating another pro league for guys that weren't, that aren't going to be formally drafted. And Dohar asked, was there something wrong with the one we have? And Tedeschi put out there saying, eSpark is kind of like the informal pro league. And I said, what about a preset one? And Tedeschi said NNR equals preset pro league. So, to come from someone like Tedeschi, who's been there for both seasons, Not quite sure what's going to happen with Season 3, but to get that kind of a compliment from a pretty high-caliber driver, it kind of speaks volumes of NNR.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm lucky enough to race all over, and top to bottom, I would say NNR is definitely the best league. Now there is fantastic. There's great, preset racers all over. I can name 4 or 5 from S&B, 4 or 5 from American Ethanol, the 4 or 5 from SXRL. But as far as a roster top to bottom,
yeah,
nobody competes with what NNR does.
No, still, it's. Yeah, there's no competition. I was really hoping, when we had that whole tournament going on not long ago, that NNR would have stayed in it to see exactly where it stacked up. But unfortunately, there was a change in management. Still waiting on the championship race between eSpark and NAOR to go down. I don't know when or if it'll happen, but when. Or if that does, it's going to be a hell of a phenomenal race. Outlaw Dirt, what's going on, man? No, back to you, buddy. Good to see you.
Well, as you and I are blabbering, Pete, there's been a change for the lead as Commander Griff he's taken over the lead from Bills. Combat Beast has moved up to 3rd. He's underneath Bills right now. You got King Matters there in 4th. And then the 5th place car, I can't see who it is. Let's see. Is that Unforgotten Shadow? Yep, it's Unforgotten Shadow. So definitely a mix-up here up front. I did see Master Killer dropping back some, so that tells me he's probably running a lower preset, or he's just not comfortable right now. So if this stays green, we'll probably see him, progress back up through the field, as he's probably going to have a little bit more grip versus these guys that's running a higher preset. So, it's definitely going to be interesting. We didn't get to pick cars tonight, but my race winner would definitely be the 13 car. I bet J-Pod told him that I was calling the race. Said, hey, man, rock that those Miami Dolphins colors, because I'm a hardcore Dolphins fan. So that's actually a throwback to a Jerry Nadeau car that was ran. And I remember Jerry Nadeau having a really bad wreck in that car at Sonoma. I don't know if you remember that. But, it's a sweet ride.
No, I don't. And you know what? I probably would have picked up on the Dolphins, but I didn't remember Nadeau actually running this. But you talk about him, you talk about Commando Griff, and then the 8-car Combat Beast. Combat in qualifying actually ran his personal best ever. So talk about a man that he's pretty fast everywhere, but when the adrenaline's pumping and you need to perform in order to stay ahead of a pretty stacked field, he was able to deliver, as he's going to try to look underneath that 13, a little loose coming off. Another thing, Stout, these corners here are pretty tight.
They are pretty tight, and the best way to go around this place is to diamond the corners or apex the corners. Kind of dive in there low, get about a groove and a half up, and then exit low. So if you've got somebody underneath you, man, that really puts stress on you being able to do that. And a lot of times you'll see cars push up to that wall and kiss it pretty hard. So I definitely expect to see a caution out of turn 2 or out of turn 4 tonight. Hopefully not. I'm not down on what these guys can do, but it's pretty standard at a place like Dover.
Yeah, it can be. There were, I want to say, about 3 cautions altogether in the NNR truck race last night that Rick James and I, along with Lucky Dog, called. Looks like we got about 27 laps here in stage number 1, and of course, wouldn't you know, I did it again. Forgot to put up some information to keep y'all informed of where we're at in case you just joined. There you go. Throw that old stage 1 sticker up there. Ironman. For some reason I can't remember what your gamer tag used to be. I know I raced with you. It's just not not coming to me right now. But definitely good to see you again. He says he sees the one and only driver of the 9, Q-Dog, our current points leader, continuing to work his way on up through the field. Actually, go ahead and find him. He's sitting right about P6 right now, and he's got the largest pack of cars sitting behind him.
Yeah, he's actually P5th. The 44 car is a lap down. He just came out of the pit or had a wreck or something. But yeah, Q-Dog was one of those that he kind of dropped back there a little bit. So I was telling you, Q-Dog's probably running a lower preset. And now that these tires are starting to get worn, especially that right rear up there on these front cars, man, Q-Dog's starting to close in on them.
Talk about closing in. The Commando Grip just got shuffled to the top side. That allowed the 8 of Combat Beast and the 15 of King Mathers to scoot
3
on
wide.
by. And now here comes the 70. Yes, 78. He's going to be able to keep that low line buzzing as well. Here comes that 9. He's going to take it side by side with Commando Griff. So Griff in the last 2 laps went from leading the charge to sitting about P5 or P6. So he's either getting very, very loose and decided to back it out so he doesn't collect the top 5, or maybe just looking to save a little bit, make sure his tires can go the rest of the distance. That's right, Exodus Maverick. Like I said, I knew I remembered you. Just the whole Iron Man thing kind of threw me off. And now Stout is at 8 cars, made his way to the point. He's pulling away.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a little bit of hold up there with Baritone Balls in the 44 car. I know he's got fresher tires, and he's trying to race up there and get his lap back. But at the same time, he's got to really be respectful of these leaders. I think he's doing that as you see him around the outside of King Mathers. But yeah, I mean, Combat's out front, and especially you get just a tad of draft here, but with the way the corner is and the car wants to bind so much, it really doesn't matter. So if he can get out here and just continue to ride smooth, as you see him, and he's definitely apexing the corner really well. He's going up about 2 lanes. See if he can continue to pull away here from Unforgotten Shadow.
Yeah, Baritone, we just saw him come up off the apron not too long ago. Another surprise is actually, well, I don't know if it's actually a surprise, Stout, but the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, he messaged me a little bit ago, says, hey, I'm actually going to watch myself race. He checked in, left a little bit of message here on the stream, so, he's doing a pretty good job. He made that low line work, and he's pretty much caught the 8 car of Combat Beast. And it looks like now the top 3 are separating themselves. It looks like Commando Grip able to work himself up 1 or 2 more spots. Pretty long line of cars here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As you see, Combat come off the corner. He got there a little bit into the side of Baritone Balls. But, yeah, like you said, the 8 car of Combat, the 78 of Unforgotten, and King Mathers there in third and the 15 car. They're definitely pulling away a little bit there from the 13 and the 9 of Commando Griff and Q-Dog.
Well, these guys are running the race tonight, the lowest possible draft. So I wonder if just that little bit of draft kind of messed with the 8 car's air and really slowed him up. I know you said Baritone Boss slowed him up as it was, but it seems like once he caught the back end of that 44, he wasn't able to progress any further. So has he used up his tires in order to fight his way through the top 5, get to the lead, but yet as soon as he caught somebody, or as soon as somebody passed him to put them back on the lead lap, he couldn't do anything further. 78 of Unforgotten Shadow was able to get by that 8, take the point, and he's going to lead the charge now.
Yeah, it might be a situation there where Combat wants to ride because, as we've seen watching this lead pack, we've seen cars starting to get on the pit road. So I know, pitting will definitely be coming up. And it might be a situation where those guys have pit early because they're running a higher preset and they know they got to tighten their cars up so they don't lose any more time. But I've been flipping through the field here. And really the best battles is obviously up front. With that group. And the rest of the field's actually pretty spread out. So, I mean, you've got 1 through 10, I'd say, about 1 through 10, probably within a second half of each other, which is very impressive, especially after, I know we've probably ran 20-ish laps or so. But yeah, just going back through the field, I mean, there's just so many guys in this field that's just extremely good racers. I mean, you got the 21, it starts Spartan back here. You got LXTX7. Last week's winner, Cole, won at the Roval. I'm looking at, is it Budrow or Boudreaux?
Yep.
Blitzkrieg. Zachary Jason had a good run at Daytona. Abar's a fine racer as well. Races over in ethanol. Got my man, Sammy Dudechev. I'm a huge Dudechev fan. He's a really good friend of mine. Sammy's actually a professional chef. So it's, me and him talk about food all the time because we're both fat boys. And Master Killer actually wrecked, man. Dude, Master Killer was up against the wall in turn in between 3 and 4. I think he was trying to get on pit road. It looks like he's finally been able to get it on pit road, but he was jackknifed there, and nobody hit him, thank God.
Yeah, 21 of Dark Spartan, one of the guys that you talked about just a moment ago. He was the first one to head on down pit road, so he's the first one out there on some brand new Eagle Feel Goods. As you see more and more cars filing in. JP Big Dogs, guys you just talked about a little bit ago. Another driver from Bears turned down for what league? Rooting on his buddy Big Dog. So riding along right now with that 7 Brandt Camaro. He's going to pull into his stall, grab those Eagle Feel Goods, and you'll fill it up with just enough that he'll need. Looks like on Combat Beach Stream, he's got 1 lap of fuel left in the tank, and he's just now in 1 and 2 starting to sputter. So, Combat Beach ran that thing dry, and he's probably going to pay for it. He's going to lose a lot of positions, but back up close to the front right now with that 13 and others. These guys have really been able to put on a show so far. Stout, all green, all clean. No real issues so far.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's another thing that talking about NNR, we kind of hold that standard with having a bunch of cars on the track, and the expectation is for us to for everybody to take care of the car in front of you and keep it as green as much as possible. And already this season, you've seen that. I mean, granted, you're going to have a track here and there where, guys just can't get it together. Unfortunately, that's part of racing, especially, on a game that sometimes, doesn't operate the way it's supposed to. So, but yeah, I mean, there's this great racing that after this green flag pit stop, there's a car, everywhere on the racetrack right now.
Yep, right now the 20 of Jay Gimbel, he's actually gone ahead and picked up the lead. I'm going to go ahead and try to find him right now. There's the one of Cole 315, again, last week's winner from the Roval, as NNR Bowling actually checks into the stream. He says he wished that the trucks would have ran on low draft. Stout, he wants you and I to put in a word to old Swats to see if we can help him out with his draft picks. But man, Swatch runs his series, and I think he runs it pretty well. In my opinion, I don't see any real issues there. Definitely no real issues like we had last year. But man, Swatch does a pretty good job, just like you. You're kind of Coey's right hand man for the Cup Series, and Boehner, helps out all across the board. Helps out bring new people in with testing a little bit with everything. So I know you guys got a lot. You wear a lot of hats here in NNR. You have your fingers few cookie jars, but overall, y'all do a pretty damn good job.
Well, I appreciate it, and Matt's out there saying wish he Swats had low draft on, but Bolin, we both know that if Swats had it his way, he'd have high draft on, make sure that he could keep up as much as possible. So nah. If Swats hears that, it'll say dang yourself. He knows I'm just picking with him. We have a good time in that in chat. Trust me.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Well, you were in there, yeah. You see what we type in there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I mentioned that the 8 of Combat Beast actually ran that machine out of gas. He is now on the opposite side of the track from the 20 of Jay Gimbel. So that just goes to show he was fighting for a top 5. Now he's fighting just to stay maybe in a top 10, top 15. So I would imagine that's probably not a mistake to make again as the 20 continues to keep going. And he's got nobody around except for the 13. 13 still quite a few car lengths behind him. Have to see if the 20 falls off or if the 13 just has a long run car, kind of like what he's shown before that round of green flag pit stops.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if the 20 must have short pitted, because there's been cars passing him, every time they get to him. So he must have short pitted and seen if he could, just make it, to the, or at least make it to whatever pit stop and then just pit and try to finish out the stage, because there's no way in the world that he's still out here and hasn't pit yet. So different strategy. Hey, that's why you race. Sometimes everybody's on the same strategy, and sometimes you got to get creative, especially with as tight as the field is and competitive it is. Sometimes you got to think outside the box and do something different.
Well, I tell you what, the 54 of Abar just got by that 20, and I was listening to his engine as he was going through that corner. He was completely off the gas, and that looks like that was the end of stage one. So 20 of Jay Gimble, he's going to go ahead and grab max stage points for stage one. Everybody else will be going ahead to complete their lap, and it'll be good to get a little bit of a break. These guys have a full 47 or so now to go ahead and get the rest of their setups in. Stat, I think we should take a quick commercial break, maybe grab a little bit of a cold beverage, and come back in about 30 seconds. What do you think?
Sounds awesome.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Want to know how to follow NNR? Here you go.
Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
All right, guys, welcome on back. Thanks for keeping it right here. Definitely appreciate it. 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, he's going to be your control car. 20 of Jay Gimble, he actually lost the point in that round of stops right there. So Unforgotten Shadow, 4 brand new tires. Jay Gimble sitting right there in P2, and everybody on back, double file behind the top 3 or top 4, Stout.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what happened to the 20 car there of Gimble, man, but he's already fallen to the back unless he's just doing that for some type of strategy like he pulled in the first stage there. But yeah, as you can see here up front, we got Bill's Legend. He's underneath the Unforgotten Shadow, and he's going to be able to take the lead as they head down the backstretch with Combat Beast closing in third. And it looks like that's is that the 21 car of It's Dark Spartan? Yes, it is. In fourth place.
Yeah, so Spartan's going to go ahead and take over P5. Combat Beast tagged the outside wall just a little bit. That's going to allow the 1 car of Cold 315 to move his way into the top 4. Now top 5, top 7 or so, all single file on the bottom line. Here comes Unforgotten Shadow one more time under the 47. They were going to be side by side through turns 3 and 4. 47 should have the better run. 78's able to keep that hammer down, not have to worry about that wall, not get into the 47. Maybe a little bit of slight contact there, but still side by side for the lead. Coming off and going down the backstretch, Stout.
Yeah, headed down the backstretch here. About 2 laps ago, Bill's got underneath Unforgotten Shadow and passed him for the lead. And Unforgotten Shadow said, hey, not so quick, man. As he tries to fight by here on the inside, you got It's Dark Spark now. He's still in third. You got Cole fourth. Q-Dog's fifth, and it looks like Combat Beast has now dropped back to 6th place.
Now, Stout, I got to pick your brain here, buddy. What would you do if you're the 78 and the 47 had you pinched down there? Would you continue to fight it out and possibly wear on your tires a little bit faster because you're going to have to keep the car lower? So you're having to put a little bit more wheel into it versus the car being allowed to wash up towards the wall. Or would you have fallen behind the 47 and say, you know what, you go ahead, I'll sit right here in P2 and save my stuff. So even though he made it to the point, he might have worn out his tires a little bit faster than he probably might have had to.
It's possible, but I will say this about the Xfinity cars: you can run side by side like that a little bit, but in the Cup cars, it's gonna wear out that right rear, and coming off low instead of driving up to the wall like you're supposed to do at really any racetrack. Like you said, you're going to put in too much wheel, and it's possibility of spinning out, or definitely getting a little extra temperature in that right rear, which is going to cause it to burn a little bit quicker, and you're going to have to spend 3 or 4 laps trying to get that temperature down. And so it'd definitely be interesting, something to keep our eye on. But hey, Unforgotten Shadow's rolling up there in P1.
Yeah, Shadow not only is rolling, he's got a good little lead, and he's keeping keeping the 47 right in his mirror, kind of matching line for line. 47 is just staying right there, so it doesn't seem like the 47 is affected by the dirty air coming off the 78 of Shadow. Cole 315, he's starting to pull his way on up, and he's got his good old buddy, hashtag JPaw Militia buddy, the 9 of Q-Dog sitting right there with him. And then I believe that's going to be the 7, sitting in about P6 right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Big Dogs. I think Big Dogs started about, I don't know,
He started
about 15th or 16th.
Yep.
He started in the very back. So, I mean, as you can see, man, in the stage 1, you absolutely want to progress and move forward and give yourself a shot. And here he is to, possibly get up there and race for the lead here, but at least put himself in a spot where he's starting that final stage near the front where he can make some noise at the end.
Stat, what about this 54 car, this Twix Supra of AR? I probably would have thought he'd be a little bit further up in the field, or do you think it's just the traffic that he's had to try to work through in order to work his way towards the front? He's been pretty strong in all the races, so far this season.
Well, honestly, I felt like I caught a tail-end glimpse of it, but he had some issues getting on pit road, and A-Bar is actually somebody that I raced with in the qualifiers. We were in several lobbies, and honestly, I felt like he was maybe a half tenth off what I was running, but he was very quick, and he was able to stay with me. But I know a couple times he had issues getting on pit road. But, I mean, hey, it's still early. We're not halfway through the race yet. Looks like he's back here in, I guess, about 13th or 14th place. So, A-Bar's extremely skilled racer. He's an excellent racer. I feel like he has a really good feel for this track, so I definitely see him moving forward.
Well, talking about qualifiers and whatnot, Stat, I gotta bring it up, buddy. I know that you've got this whole Movember thing going. I know your charity is about guys' mental awareness and mental health and security and all that. I'm putting the link for your charity out there into chat right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that and a little bit about the race on Sunday?
Well, first of all, P, I appreciate you, putting the link up there. But it's the month of November it got started a long time ago, just calling it Movember, and it's just just focus on men's health, and it's not just mental health; it's physical health, just well-being in general. Because a lot of times, men's mental health or men's health in general is just overlooked. And my thing was, I wanted to make the race, and given this opportunity and learning even more about it, I decided to, with the funds I was able to raise, just to focus on the mental health portion. Especially now, mental health is at an all-time low. With you think about the election, whatever side of the fence you were on, that doesn't matter, but that's been stressful with the way that's played out. With what coronavirus has done, and it's in a lot of ways it's taken some of our freedom and our liberties that we take for granted, and it's just been hard, mental health wise, and that's what I wanted to focus on. And I'm not one to. I'm very open, Pete. You know me. I'm straightforward. So I'm someone that's battled with mental health, and I played college football, and I had a career-ending injury, and I was told that hey, you can. I was told you can play again and be fine, but if I was to take another hit to my knee like it was, I'd probably have to walk around with a cane. And I chose being able to walk around fine instead of risking that, and it bothered me for a while. I mean, I was never suicidal or anything, but I drank a lot to deal with it, and I decided to be open and share that with people. And now as a teacher, I'm pretty stressed out. My mental health's not where it needs to be, because a lot of the guys that's watching, they know I have a bubbly personality. I am, man. I'm wide open, and I'm not getting to be the the person or the teacher that I am, that I'm so good at being through a computer screen. And just the work's doubled, and I'm always at home. I basically feel like I'm on house arrest. So, trying to, enjoy my time with my kids. And, my wife lets me get out of the house for 30 or 40 minutes in the afternoon just to breathe some fresh air and go do some stuff. But, main thing is just check on the men in your life. I'm a man. I check on the men in my lives that mean a lot to me. My father and all my friends. Tell them you love them. Tell them how much they mean to your life, and just encourage them that everything's gonna be fine and the best is yet to come.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to chuckle right there. The 9 of Q Dog just gave the one of Cole 315 a little bit of a shot to the front quarter panel and made him kiss the wall a little bit. But Stout, I remember you throwing a word out there many times. You are an extrovert, and man, I have to agree with you. The first time I met you, you're helping guys in NNR out while we're at the track. I didn't know what to think of you at first. I thought you were like this rough and tumbly, kind of a bully, big old ball head. Man, you were furthest from that. That's why you saying, don't judge a book by its cover, or you just never judge a person until you walked a mile in their shoes. But another something that I never came across as much as I have since joining NNR is the word love. It flies around this community, and I always thought from one guy telling another guy, hey man, I love you, whatever, and it's kind of like second nature. So while I appreciate that, man, I appreciate the hell out of you. Not just as someone here in NNR, but I've got to meet you, got to hang out with you. We talk about diecast, we talk about NASCAR, we talk about Heat 5, we talk about the community in general, we talk about other drivers and what we want to see out of NNR. We both put this community above ourselves at times, and we just try to do right, and that's one thing that I strive to do with each and every one of these broadcasts, is just to do right and what y'all would expect out of me, because I know you put a lot on yourself in order to make NNR and everything else in your life run right as well. So Stout, buddy, I absolutely appreciate you. And if you ever need somebody, ever at all, you got my number. Please don't hesitate to call, text, whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely, PA. I appreciate that. And, like you said, yeah, I know you're the same way. I believe in putting, others before myself. That's how I was raised. Yep. That's what talks about in the Bible. And whether you're a believer or not, there's a lot of truth in the Bible to live by. And I just feel like if you live life that way, if everybody could live life that way, life would be so much more grand. And a lot of people do that here in NNR, and that's why we talk about the success of NNR and the friendships. And I mean, hey, we get pissed off with each other now.
Oh yeah.
You've seen some of my comments, and then an hour later, man, I'm playing games with that person. That's just how it is. So I appreciate that, Pete.
There's a very, very big competitive spirit here in NNR, and in many leagues and larger communities around Heat 4, Heat 5, and even before that. So yeah, I've got to agree with you. More Than a Cape just reached out to you, Stout, says donated to you. Keep up the good work. So there you go, man.
Hey, appreciate that, Cape. Man, hey, you were talking about Cole, dude. I just saw Cole come off loose. He came off the corner loose, man, off turn 2 there last lap. And Combat Beast is blowing steam down his backside here as they head down the backstretch. Cole said, heck with it, man. He's getting on pit road. He said, dude, I got to get some fresh tires on this thing.
Yeah, probably not a moment too soon. We'll have to see if Combat Beast makes the same mistake he did before. Looks like he's still got plenty of gas in the tank while we're rattling on. They're on lap 32 of 42. So as they come across stripe this time, it's going to be 9 laps remaining. Rock, now, in case I didn't say it before, buddy, thank you very much for being there as always. Thank you very much for the 200 bits. Man, I went back a few races when I saw the one and only Atlanta Racing broadcasting from some road course. I think it was in Vietnam, and over on F1. And I went and I bought a 500 pack of bits, and they were like $8. Rock NASCAR, he drops bits on almost every streamer that he keeps up with, and 200 bits to me is $2. All right. For him to drop 200 bits on me, he's got to pay like $3.25. So, Rock, I know all the money you're spending to help support me and Atlanta and Rick James and every other streamer out there. Buddy, when we say we appreciate you, please don't ever let that sound complacent or like we don't mean it anymore, because I'm going to tell you, we absolutely do. You know what? Stout, I'm gonna take a second. I've got one more NASCAR.com $10 gift card sitting right here. Rock NASCAR, I'm putting your name on this, buddy. That's gonna be yours. I'll reach out to you after the race. I'm gonna give this to you. Thank you very much for all you do for us. All right, still going through the field right now. Looks like the 20 of Jay Gimbel here, Stout. He's gone ahead and picked back up where he left off at the end of last stage. So he was able to shock the field by dropping back in the beginning, saving just enough. And I'm going to guess by doing that, not really wearing out his left sides, he's able to just take rights, only enough fuel to get him by till the end of the stage. We may be looking at Jay Gimbel max out on points one more time.
Yeah, that's I brought that up right there at the beginning of the second stage. He restarted second, man. He just kind of rode the wall just to get behind people. So obviously he was going into fuel conversation from the get-go. And hey, if the Delta works out here, then more love to him here. Who's in P2 by chance, and how far behind are they?
Well, I was actually just working my way up to Jay Gimbel right now, see if I can't look in his rear view. Right now, the 38's all over his back bumper, as well as the very, very plain Jane 36. And then here comes the 7 of Dark Spartan. They're all going to work on by that 20. So if P2 is anywhere behind, well, it's got to be somewhere back there. It is not in the distance of the backstretch here at Dover. So Gimbel's got a pretty good lead, and with just about 3 laps to go now, Combat Beast sitting in P8. So the 8 car sitting in P8. He's not showing me the roster of where guys are, but nobody's in this 20.
Yeah, and as you were talking there, Sammy Duchev, like he went around right there at the pit road entrance. He's got it back up and he's rolling now, but. Yeah, Jay is banked on no cautions here, and hey, sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes it works out for you. It looks like it's going to work out here for him. These first 2 stages, sometimes it bites you in the rear. That's part of racing. So, hey, smart on his part. The main thing is let's see what he can do here in this final stage as we come up here. I think this is either the final lap or 1 lap to go, and see if he's got some speed in that bad boy to race for this win.
Yeah, as he came across, there's 1 lap to go. Combat Beast sitting in P8. He was actually 3/4 of a lap behind the 20 here of Jay Gimbel. So as he comes across the line, this is going to be last lap for him. And yeah, he's knocked stage 2 out of the park as well. Some might feel that he stole it, but either way. That's max points right now for the 20 in 2 successive stages. So big points for this Toyota. What is this? It's not a Camry. What are these things? Supras.
Supra.
So yep, good job by him. Guys and gals, we're going to take one more. Kills 1124. Thank you very much for the host. Absolutely appreciate it. We're going to take one more break. Let's go to nnrleague.com, take a look around what we got to offer as far as merch, and we'll be right back.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat preset league on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to nnrleague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. All right, we are back. Let's get back up to our control car. It's going to be the 20 of Jay Gimble with the 22 of Yotes King. Stout's first time this 22's been up close and personal towards the lead. Looks like got the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow and the 15 of King Mathers. We'll actually see him, I believe, at Sonoma here in just a little bit. Right after this race, make sure you head on over to Worm Rider's channel. He's going to have the American Ethanol Series Cup cars out at Sonoma. So like we talked about in the beginning of this race, they're going from East Coast to West Coast. And look at that, they were just 3 wide there for the lead. I'm thinking that the 20 car might have been trying to back out the same as he did in the beginning of Stage 1 and Stage 2. That puts the 78 back to the point out.
Yeah, absolutely. It actually looks like the 20 car is keeping a little bit better pace here. But hey, you were talking about the 22 car there of Yotes King. Yotes King actually finished up. He's been racing the Truck Series as someone pounded the wall out of 2 back there. I don't know if we're gonna have a caution or not. But Yotes King. Yeah, it is a caution. But Yotes King actually, I'm pretty sure he won. I know for sure he won 1 race. Did he win multiple races in the truck race early in the year?
I believe he won Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. No, it wasn't Michigan. It was one of the races right for Michigan. I don't recall which one it was right now. But yeah, he absolutely had a win in the Truck Series. And then we always talk about life and family and all that before anything with NNR. These races, this is still a game. So. He backed out of the Truck Series, asked to be able to run an Xfinity to do things with his family, and of course, kind of met up with him, and here he is in his start with the NNR Xfinity cars.
Yeah, he's a good racer. He's showing it off first race. He's up here. Looks like he lost his spot. He's back in 5th here, but he'll be restarting on the bottom line. And did he pull out? Yeah, he pulled out there. Well, he did pull down there for a second. Looks like he's got it going back here. Oh, no, there's a caution. He got door slammed, I think, by Bills onto the apron, causing the jackknife, and about a 12 or 15 car wreck there.
Yeah, I have a feeling if I think what you saw there with Yotes on the bottom, I think somebody didn't go, wasn't paying attention, or wasn't able to get up and through the gears. And of course, these guys, per the rules, they can't pass before the start-finish line. Either that, if somebody doesn't go, you're not gonna, just slam on your brakes. You've got to make some kind of a move, and I think when he pulled low, the car behind him couldn't see, and it just kind of accordioned on back. So I think it's that one more caution in a very quick time frame, and we see a modified restart, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, J-Pod don't mess around here with the Xfinity guys. So hopefully we don't get to that point because they've been putting on some great racing. It's just trying to get too much here on these restarts, some of these guys. So hopefully they get it figured out here. I'm sure J-Pod's telling them, hey, guys, we have another caution here, and we'll go to modified restart. So hopefully they can handle their business here on the green.
Well, whoever caused that caution, I just saw them have to go ahead and drop to the back. That is one of the things in the rules. If you cause a caution, you got to go rear with the gears. So that's what happened. It looks like another wreck, and somebody went down.
Someone killed the wall.
Yeah, somebody went down
killed the wall
apron.
too.
Yep, that looks like it was the 15, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 15 to King Mathers right in front of the 8 car of Combat Beast. So we'll have to see if if JPA exercises that card and says, all right, guys, you could go double file, but now you can't go until you get to the line. Get a little bit of separation, or will he pull out the single file, restart right from the get-go? We'll have to see whether they take a pace lap or not. Wow, that jumbled up the whole field. 47 to Bill's a legend. He was the control car before. Now he finds himself mid-pack. So I'm going to try to work my way back up front. It's going to be the 78 and the 38 of Outlawed Beast. He just recently started here in NNR, another member of the JPA militia. And no modified restart this time. It's like a little bit of cleaner of a restart than what we've seen the last couple laps.
Yeah, I was watching in the back there. King Mathers almost got it right there. Someone's around up in between turns 3 and 4. I can't tell who it is. Let's see if I can flip through here. Yeah, it's Zachary Jason in the 99 car, spun around there. But yeah, other than that, man, hey, up to speed. Everybody's keeping it clean. See, hopefully they can keep it green here.
We'll have to see. In stage 1 and stage 2, Miles the Monster was pretty lax. It's kind of maybe hanging out, watching the race up. Start of stage 3 here, not so much. He might be getting a little hungry. Might be looking for a snack. And so far, he's had 3 cars to chew on.
Well, yeah, the guys did such a fine job of starving him in the first 2 stages, and he's definitely out to get him here as we start this final stage. But hey, you look at the front 5 or 6 here, man. They're nose to tail. You've got the Unforgotten Shadow is leading the race here. The 38 car of Outlawed Beast sitting there in second, and you got the 5 car. I think that's Little Tank. I'm not gonna flip through here. And then there's that guy we talked about, old Big Dog, sitting there in 4th. You got Blitzkrieg in 5th, and I'm not sure who's in 6th. So hey, besides Unforgotten Shadow, look at that top 5. These are all new guys up there.
Yeah, every other Saturday I broadcast the races for Papa Bear's league. Turn down for what, and Big Dog's he's got like 6 or 7 wins on the season so far. He drives, I believe, the 24 car over in that league, and he's been pretty dominant. He did something, I don't remember if it was on Facebook. Whenever Rock NASCAR put out his message about who had won what league and whatnot, and I said, Big Dog, I think it might be time to take the challenge on of NNR. And I'm guessing when I said that is when he reached out to you and said, hey, do you got a spot for me? I think Xfinity is probably going to suit him pretty well. He's definitely very clean, very fast, rocking this number 7 Brant Camaro right now. He's trying to take P3 from the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow.
Lloyd, that's his first name. Lloyd reached out to me and said, hey, man, can I get involved in NNR? And I went straight to the admin chat and said, hey, I'm adding Big Dogs. He's cleared. You don't need to try out. He's a good racer. And you chimed in and added him into the Discord about less than 24 hours later, and here he is up here running in 3rd place. So yeah, I'm glad he's over here, man. I had actually talked to him, when I raced that a normal race with Turn Down for What, and I told him, I was like, hey man, you need to come racing over in NNR if you'd like to. And I've actually discussed with him, possibly running over in the East Park if he'd like to, start, trying to get him into the Xfinity series. I know he's a little bit newer to custom setups, but he could definitely lean on JP for with some help on the custom side, because JP is a very, very good custom racer.
I didn't know that. He's a whale of a preset racer, that's for sure. Riding along right now at 36 Classic Stew with a pretty classic paint scheme. It is nothing but blue and white all over. Looks up, it's pretty good. Just don't see a single decal on this machine anywhere. So pretty good for classic right now, sitting at about P7. 6th or 7th. Yep. And he's got that those Dan Marino colors. I'll take it back a little bit for you. It's rocking right behind him.
Yeah, old Griff, man, he's been a mainstay here in the top 10. We've seen him run up front and lead some laps, and really haven't seen him any higher than 5th, though, since, I guess, the end of stage 1. So hopefully he can work his way back up through here, and he might, on these cautions be pitting. I'm not sure where he restarted. So, but, Griff's a good racer, and I know this season he's had up and downs when you think about the stages and the finish, but he's an excellent racer as well. I know he's part of that J-Paw militia as well. And, there's 12 to 15 guys that could win a race every week here in the Xfinity Series. So it's definitely fun to tune in. I always tune in and watch someone I can, and it's highly competitive for sure.
Yep. JP Big Dog's out there in chat, says, appreciate you, Stout. I know he's going to make a name for himself anywhere he goes. That's my boy. Well, right now your boy's moved up to P2, sitting right behind I believe that's P2 anyway. But anyway, about 79 laps to go. And, yeah, JR's doing pretty well. I got to say, yeah, he's right behind 5 Little Tank. I wasn't quite sure if that was going to 9 a Cole or if it was the 5, but as I look over at Combat Beast stream to keep up with laps or get a lap count, yeah, Little Tank, he's worked his way up to the point and doing pretty well. Stout, he's kind of using the line that you talked about after qualifying when this all kicked off. He was kind of diamonding out the corner a little bit. I remember when Ryan Newman did that here for during both races of a season back when I think he was running the Altel car. I had never seen anybody do that before, and the runs that he was getting off the corners, and then later on when they ground down Bristol, he did the same thing there. He went to show that you don't have to run the bottom line in order to be fast.
Oh yeah, man, the old Gen 3 cars and Ryan Newman, dude, nobody could get the engine screaming more than Ryan Newman could, man. Ryan Newman was such a fantastic qualifier, especially, you think about his first 2 or 3 years in the Cup Series. But, man, those cars, yeah, and actually, I don't know if you saw where they did the testing, at the Roval and the Oval in Charlotte, but the new cars, guys, they sound really good. They sound a lot better than, they used to, and supposedly they were running 2.5 second, 3 second faster laps at the Roval, than this generation car does. So definitely some good stuff coming in 2022, and hopefully they get the hell away from this current package, because I've never gotten more naps during the race than I have the last couple of years. I know part of that comes from eating and just getting older, but I'm really looking forward to hearing some engine scream. And another thing, during the testing, they were having the lift getting in the turn 1, so that's awesome. That means that it's going to be more in the driver's hands, working the gas instead of just matting it, and it being the best machine wins. So putting the race back in the driver's hands is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I follow Real Radman on YouTube, and he did a whole vlog about the new car, the way they sound, and what they are, dual exhaust. And yeah, man, they sound very throaty. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I thought the 47 of Bill's Legend was blowing it up. I thought maybe a caution had come out, but no such scenario. But man,
throaty. Throaty. I've never heard of that. That's okay.
Throaty? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess kind of like a Harley Davidson.
Yep.
Style.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder if, all right, so I'm looking here, and so obviously Little Tank and Big Dogs is pulled away here in first and second. Is that Sammy in third? No, that's Blitzkrieg. So Blitzkrieg's in third.
Yep.
And then they've pulled away there from fourth. But dude, if you go back to like where Honeycutt is, he's at the tail of this massive pack, dude. There's like 14 cars. It was like Talladega there in that little spread of vehicles here. let's see who's the first car there. So it's the 36. It's the non-sponsored car. You got Q-Dogs underneath him. Commander Griff's there, Master Killer. You've got LXTX7. You got the 8 Combat Beast. I mean, there's just a lot of cars, and I mean that's that group of cars that was up front. So I don't know if these guys are just mired back here, or if Jay obviously played the card of fuel mileage in the first 2 stages. Maybe these guys are just riding around here, but I mean they're definitely on top of each other.
Yeah, the 36 of Master Killer 13 of Commando Griff, and this entire pack of 8 cars. As soon as you mentioned Dude Chef, yeah, I went back and he was the first one that I picked up on, and you look out his windshield and he has got just that pack. They were running side by side a little bit, but now they're all pretty strung out. And one of the guys that's in that right behind that 13 of Griff is that 98 of Master Killer. So Master Killer not having a terrible race. He's been right up there with Q-Dog, and I know all those J-Pop Militia guys, they tend to practice quite a bit with each other to be prepared for each and every race. And Master Killer's just a couple spots behind his buddy old Q-Dog. I think Q's in front of the 36 Classic Stu.
Yeah, he actually just had gotten by Classic Stu, and talking about Classic Stu, well, I mean Q-Dog just pulled away from him. It's like Commander Griff's trying to work him over. You got Master Killer, the 22 car of Yotes King there, and a couple car links back. You got Combat Beast, Jade Gimbal, and then you've got the looks like the 0 car of LXTX7. And talking about Commander Griff, dude, he just freaking aproned it. And I thought there was going to be a caution, but Yotes looked like he was able to slow down and get by him. So, see if Commander Griff can get this thing load up.
Thank you very much, Worm. I was about to do the same thing, but you beat me to the punch. Definitely appreciate that, buddy. Gotta love those messages that come in the chat saying, hey, you want to be famous? Nah, man, I don't buy follows. I don't buy, subs or anything like that. Definitely appreciate you. Let's see. It looks
My
like
bad. I didn't know. I actually responded to that person with that message I sent.
Smith NC, good to see you out there too, buddy. Now sitting 136 out of 200 laps. Stout. So we're coming to the first green flag pit stop of stage number 3. Winding down, sitting at about 61 to go, give or take, depending on where you're at on track right now. Not too many people have been lapped. Pretty good, pretty clean. We started off stage 3 a little rough, but other than that, it's been pretty damn gone good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're talking about green flag stops. Starting here, man. Unforgotten Shadows on pit road. Little Tank's actually relinquishing the lead here to Big Dogs. He's getting on pit road. He's on the apron, and I'll flip back here and try to keep an eye on this group of Cole. Looks like Commando, the 51 car, and the 0 LTX7. See when they're going to get on pit road. Try to ride around here. Try to call out when these guys get on pit road. So if you're a fan of one of them, you'll know when they're making their green flag stop here.
Yeah, absolutely. Ms. Jinkies and Tulip Big, thank you very much for coming out and hanging out and chatting it up. Smith, thank you very much for suggesting. This is the home for NNR, probably the best preset league on Xbox from Dover. A little bit past halfway, sitting at about 140 of 200 laps. Their Xfinity series starts off on Tuesday nights right between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Still got the Cup race coming tomorrow night, but thank you very much for the suggestion and keeping up with us. Got the one and only Stout Whiskey sitting in the booth with me tonight. Normally it's Rick James, but Rick's out broadcasting, I believe, F1 tonight. So yeah, he's got his. Had something else going on, but he should be back the week after Thanksgiving. All of NNR is off next week.
Yeah, Rick's got his little side project that he's doing with. It's actually on Forza 7 with the Indy cars.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little six race series that he's got going on, and he's got kind of guys from different leagues coming together to race and have fun. So I know Aviator's actually over there from NNR. I know Rose. Thought about doing it. and I also know Lucky Dog's racing. So Aviator's definitely, he's really good at the open wheel cars. So I imagine he'll probably give Dan fits, or excuse me, Lucky Dog fits over there. But as we're chatting it up here, I see there it's Stark Spartan, and you've got the 47 car or Bills exiting pit road, so they're done with their green flag pit stop. So as these guys get through their green flag pit stops, we'll be able to figure out, who was able to change position, who had a magical pit stop provided by the game. I know all the guys that's watching that race competitively, and you're duking it out for the lead, and you get some diddly squat 16-second pit stop, and the dude you're racing gets a 15.3 stop. It's frustrating as hell for that to happen, but it does happen, unfortunately. That we got the 22 car of Yotes King on pit road, Honeycutt's on pit road as well. So yeah, that's Q Dogs is exiting off pit road. So really gonna see if these guys are able to gain positions, or these guys that kind of pitted a little later probably gonna gain or lose a little bit of ground here at off the get-go, but they'll have fresher tires over 3 or 4 laps, and they should be able to make that ground up.
Well, Stout, the 20 of Tough to Pass, or Jay, he was the leader up until about 30 seconds ago, but now the 20 finds himself down pit road, so he's going to grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, fill it up, I would imagine, with just about 55 laps remaining, and it looks like because of those couple of cautions in the beginning of the race, in the beginning of stage 3 rather, I'm guessing this will not be as much of a fuel race as it was last night in the trucks. Everybody after this pit stop should have to pit one more time, unless another untimely caution should happen to come out. But right now, the with the 20 down pit road, that handed the lead back over to the 5 of Lil Tank, and he's kind of picked up right where he left off before. He had the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow with him, as well as quite a few others. But that 5's got that Camaro back in the wind.
Yeah, and he's definitely, before the pit stops, Big Dogs was right on his rear end. Now, Little Tank did pit at least a lap or 2 earlier than Big Dogs, so that probably helped him, with those fresher tires, get out there and be able to pull that lead. But he also could have had one of those magical pit stops, and Big Dogs didn't have such a good magical pit stop, and that's why, you see the spread. So definitely have to keep an eye on it, and actually, as we keep it on, it's like Big Dogs is actually already closing the gap some here. So definitely something to watch for. 3rd place there, I can't tell if that's Unforgotten Shadow, Pete, or not in 3rd place, but there's a car that's not too far behind there of the 7 car.
Yep, that is, you're 100% right. It's that trunk machine. I'm sorry, no, not the trunk machine. I was thinking of Bill's Legend, but yeah, it's the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, not too far off that Brandt Camaro. So 1st through 3rd, quite a bit of distance between the 3. But even when you look off the 78's, rear deck lid, looking at the 7, you still don't see the 5. So trying to find, there's Little Tank right now, and yeah, as he gets to the start stripe, he'd be turning in, or just about turning in, to turn number 1, but that 7's hunting.
Absolutely. Well, the distance between 1st and 2nd is the same distance between 2nd and 3rd, and then looking back off the front end of the 78 car, man, he's basically got a straightaway lead on 4th place in that gaggle of cars. So from 4th on back, man, they're just all piled on top of each other, and they're not helping each other out, because they're all trying to battle for position, and side-by-side racing is going to slow you down. This is how this game works. So the quicker they can figure that out, it'll help them close the gap. But at this point, with the amount of laps that we've got left, if it was a state green, this really looks like it's going to be a 3-car race here.
I tell you what, just watching the 5 of Little Tank come off the corners before, off of 1 and 2 going down the backstretch, he was a little bit slideways, but that 7 was straight as an arrow. I mean, he couldn't have pointed it down the straight any better, and I think that's what's making all the difference in the amount of time that he's making up. I don't think it's probably only going to be about another 10 or maybe 12 laps, depending on if the 5-car setup comes in for him. If it doesn't, that 7's going to might be able to catch him here pretty quick, But if the 5 cars to falter just a little bit, this might be the 7's race. But Jaden Gimbel, we haven't talked much about him here, except for leading a couple laps in the round of pit stops. But first through third, there's a whole lot of space there. The 20's nowhere to be seen right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the 7 car continues to close in on the 5. It's really just going to pin how quick he's able to get by that 5 car of Little Tank, because the 78 is definitely close some on the 7. Not a whole lot, not as much as the 7 car is close on the 5. But yeah, here we go, the 7 car making a pass on the 5.
There's that mistake that the 5 made. 7 was right there, able to close on up. 5's going to try to close that, but looks like he's just a little loose right now. So that goes to show when I mentioned Little Tank getting a little loose on the exit of the corner, and the 7's able to keep it straight. That made all the difference right there. 5's still loose, trying to hold on to it. 7, I have a feeling he's gonna gap Tank here by just a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if the 5 falls into the clutches of the 78 within the next 10 to 12 laps.
Yeah, I'm riding with the 5 car, man. The 5 car is loose, dude. He almost lost it back-to-back laps there off of turn 2. So, yeah, if he's loose, that means he's cooking that right rear. The temperature in that right rear is probably, 275, 280. That's no good in the preset. So, it looks like he's hanging there. If he can, just keep a little bit of draft and, just dominate. He probably really needs to dominate the corners here. He's running lower than he probably needs to, because he's going to burn that right rear even more driving off. But he's standing in the wake of the 7 car, so we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure.
Just caught up with the 99 of Zachary Jason, spinning it out, and he did it in probably the most opportune spot. He did it right at the entrance of pit road, and I'm going to guess he did not like the way that car was ill handling. He just decided to bring it on in. I don't know, Stout, maybe he broke the track bar or something like that, and couldn't repair it. But Zachary Jason's out of the race tonight.
No, that's called pressing the start button and pressing B. Okay, so yeah, you can call that whatever you want, man. But no, that's getting the heck out of here. That's what that was.
Looks like your buddy Dude Chef in that 68. He's also sitting on pit road. So, Chef, in some pretty solid competition here in NNR. Not quite able to get it done tonight here at Dover, but we'll see Dude again as the season progresses, and there's still quite a ways to go.
Oh, for sure, man. There's a lot of racing left, and I'm trying to see here if let me get back up on his. So the gap between from the 7 to the 78 stayed the same, and the 5 cars hanging there with the 7. So there's no closing the gap. So this really, I don't know how many laps are left here, Pete. They're going to have another green flag pit stop, correct?
40 laps remaining. Yep, they're absolutely going to have to pit one more time.
For sure, one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from there they should be good to go. I don't know how many laps left Combat Beast has in his tank. He's actually got King Outbreak, used to run here in NNR, sitting in his party, kind of talking him through some things. So pretty good to see Outbreak keeping up with his buddy. But right now, our leader, he's got a windshield full of the 16. If I'm not mistaken, that's T-Glass, I believe. I could be. I've been wrong before. Let's.
Budrow.
Budrow. Okay. Yep. Actually, no, I don't see T-Glass out here. No, actually, I think T-Glass ran in the trucks, not.
Yeah. T-Glass is a truck driver. You're good.
Yeah. I tell you, they blend together after a while.
No, trust me. Yeah, you're seeing 75 different drivers at least over 3 nights in a row. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Had the right number, just the wrong person. Back to Jay Gimbel all over the back.
Yeah, they're so spread out, man. This is why we need that ticker.
Yeah. I was really waiting for Atlanta Racing to say something when NASCAR Heat put out that tweet about some new DLC and whatnot, but It didn't come. See the 20 go on underneath the one. One's going to have a pretty good launch up off the corner. That'll put the 20 again right behind them. Both of them look pretty stable coming off the corner, down the back stretch, all the way through 3 and 4, kind of diamonding out, like you said, just not quite hugging that bottom line very close to the apron all the way through and able to complete yet another lap. So these guys really duking it out. And back up to our leader, 7 of Big Dog. So making a pretty good first impression here in NNR for his his premiere in the NNR Xfinity Series here from Dover. Pretty good job by the guy.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we knew that was going to happen. And green flag pit stops have picked back up. Yotes is on pit road. We got A-Bar on pit road. Let me see if they've got anybody, if there's anybody on pit road ahead of them. Nope. So I'll flip back here. Keep doing your thing. I'll try to keep an eye here on pit road.
All right. JP Big Dogs, we got just over 30 laps remaining. We got like 32, 33 laps. So everybody will have to pit one more time. We'll have to see we'll have to actually see what they're able to get on a tank of fuel. Jamog, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to NNR. Definitely appreciate you for coming out and hitting that follow button. No Griff rocking again. This old, as you said, old Jerry Nadeau colors. I want to say he's sitting right about P5, P6. Not too bad for him. And 98 a Master Killer. He's got a few cars. I want to say he's probably sitting right about P8 right now, if I had to guess. And just as I wondered how much fuel the 8 car of Combat Beast has, he just hit that menu. He's got 7 laps left, and he's got exactly 30 laps left here in the race. So everybody will have to be pitting here pretty soon.
Yeah, as you were talking, King Matters was able to pit, and he's now off pit road. We've got the 47 car of Bill's Trump, who is he's actually just got on the pit road. Budrow is actually exiting in the 16 car. And I'm gonna flip back here and see. Looks like we got some more cars here on pit road. The 38 car of Outlawed Beast is he's now starting his pit stop, and Little Tank is entered pit road as well. So. Definitely have to keep an eye with Little Tank. If anybody in this party knows Little Tank, you need to call him right now and say, "Hey, man, you need to drop that right rear about a pound. All right, save some of that tire so it doesn't get loose, so he can challenge the big dogs here." But yeah, this is setting up. Have to keep an eye on the 7 car and see how long he wants to stay out here.
Actually, 7 car, he just brought it down pit road as the 8 of Combat Beast and the 9 of Q-Dog went screaming by. Looking at this Black Rifle Coffee Bass Pro Camaro right now, Q's looking pretty stable up and off the corner, really keeping a pretty good distance between himself and Combat Beast. And they're out there doing their thing, and I don't think they're too far off. I believe they got the 21 in their sights, and he's the leader right now. Dark Spartans found himself in the lead.
Good for Dark Spartan in that 21 ride, man.
Absolutely.
LTX 7X or whatever it is, he's getting on the pit road.
I've done the same thing. It's like, man, I apologize. Whether it's LX or LXTX7 or LT7, man, I'm gonna call you something. And yeah, he don't care.
Let's just call him LT7 with some X's mixed in.
There we go.
We should roll with
LT7. That sounds good.
Combat Beast is
might sound a little bit better though.
Right. Yeah. Combat Beast is not getting on pit road. Master Killer is exiting pit road. So again, it looks like we're coming up. I guess Gim will probably be the last car on pit road because he was the last car, the last pit stop. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the green flag racing, but I kind of like a caution here just to pile these guys back up on top of each other.
Well, we wondered what they'd be able to get on fuel. On a full tank, to get about 37 laps. But I won't tell anybody if you won't. But Combat Beast is only taking a can and a half to be able to go 28 laps. Shh, don't tell anybody. So yeah, that's where they sit. So we're going to try to make up a little bit of track position on his competition. 5 of Lil Tank now. He looks a little bit better. We'll have to see how he fares on the long run. He's got that 7 car. He's going to try breathing down his neck all over again once they come out. And yeah, we've got 24 laps remaining here, Stout.
24 to go. Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be interesting, man. I'm trying to flip up here and find, where the 5 and the 7 car is. So, yeah, I mean, the 5 car's got about the same lead on the 7 car as he had last time, when they pitted. So, I mean, the 7 car will be up here on him here in about 6 or 7 laps, and just have to see what Little Tank can do. Hopefully, Little Tank magically hurt me. Say, hey, man, drop that right rear pound. See if he can offer up a little bit more competition when the 7 gets to him. And yeah, the 7 car pitted 1 lap after him. But hey, one lap tires that's a huge difference in racing on this game. That's just how it is, especially in preset land. So I'm trying to figure out who that is in 3rd. Looks like it's a blue and white car. So I think that's LT7 with some X's mixed in there somewhere. He's I don't know if he's necessarily in 3rd place, and I'm pretty sure Unforgotten Shadow is still in 3rd.
Yeah, definitely Unforgotten Shadow. Coey out there. Coey, I tried it, but I might have to reset my Discord. But thank you very much for the question. I'll see if that works. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I'll absolutely let you know. Let's see the 0. Yeah, you're right. The 0 of LT7. He's got the 7 car. Not quite sure if that is the battle for 3rd. If it is, that's the closest or the furthest up he's been in the field all night long. And just as we're talking about him, the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow went screaming on by on the low side. So LT7, he might have tried something, not 100% sure. We'll have to see how that fares for him in the long run. But Stout, just like we saw in Stage 1 and Stage 2 and the end part of the first fuel run here in Stage 3, the 20 of Gimbal was the last car to go on down pit road. Did he try a little bit of strategy, maybe only take right side tires? If he did, it didn't work because the 5 Lil Tank, he's back in the lead, so Gimbal not able to capitalize, and the 5 should be able to go the distance.
Well, yeah, and you have to take into account the whole Delta thing. That's where you see if your speed saving gas is going to pay off after so many pit stops or green flag pit stops or whatnot. And Gimbal definitely made the right call in the first 2 stages, picking up max points and picking up bonus points towards the postseason. But he knew that, hey man, I didn't have a fast enough car to compete, or I struggled with figuring out a setup. So I'm going to stay out here as long as I can and hope for a caution in those 3 or 4 laps difference between those guys getting on pit road and me pitting. So yeah, that's how it works out sometimes. So, but like I said, I mean, he maximized the first 2 stages, and I'm sure he's happy with that.
Oh, he's got to be. That's a whole lot of points that he was able to secure for himself. Rock NASCAR just checked in. We were talking about that whole Forza thing that Rick James has going on. Says Lucky Dog won the Indy cars at the Glen from the pole. So it sounds like Aviator or CGMX Rose not able to put any pressure, I should say, on the one and only Dan Racer. But yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, Coey, that is a throwback car that Commander Griff's in. That's the Jerry Nadeau throwback. Miami Dolphins colors, baby. Fins up. And I know the Eagles are sucking this year, man. So if you want to jump on the bandwagon for this year, hey, man, I'll welcome you. You can come and sit on it with me.
Well, on that 13 car, next time by, it's going to be 13 laps to go. So next time Commando Griff starts that or gets to the line, he'll be moving on up. 13 laps remaining here in the NNR Xfinity Series live from Dover. Again, definitely want to thank everybody for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and keeping us company. Again, definitely Stout, appreciate you coming out for the ride. talking about your Movember charity for Sunday's race at 2 o'clock on the NASCAR Heat Twitch channel. You know I'll definitely be rooting for you. And hey, bud, if you need anybody on that spotter stand or coaching up that war wagon, you absolutely let me know. I'm there for you whenever you need me.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, if we're allowed to have something like that, I'll definitely reach out to you. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I know we got a practice Saturday at noon. So everybody in a big group, and we'll have at 2 on Saturday, and we'll have another practice at noon on Sunday, and then we race it at 2 o'clock. So it's going to be fun, and I'm NNR's home, and I'm racing for all my brothers and we got sisters that watch too. I'm racing for all of them, and that because there's a lot of good guys that are better than me that are not in that race, and I'm not. Me, I'm not one to say I'm better than anybody. I don't believe I'm better than anybody, and everybody that races against me, they know that I'm gonna race them the same as, I'd race my mean ass brother if I had one. So it's gonna be fun, and I've got a plan, and we'll see if that plan works. So definitely looking forward to it, and I hope everybody comes out and watches and. Roots on, whoever you're close with that's racing, but, keep Old Stout Whiskey in mind to root for as well.
You know what? Everybody out there in chat, let's take a little bit of fate out of Stout's hands. All right, I just put his link for his charity down there in chat again. The way that qualifying actually the way that qualifying is happening for this race at 2 o'clock on Sunday is whoever gets the most amount of donations towards their charity determines where they start in the race. I know there's some guys out there that have like $500, $600, almost $700 towards their charity already. Please, guys, dig deep a little bit. I know Stout's, he won't ask you, so I will. Nail on that link. And go on over, give what you can. It's all for a great cause, absolutely. Who doesn't need a little bit of a checkup every now and then? Everybody says, "Oh, guy, he's a guy. He'll power through. Rub some dirt on it, get back in the game, whatever it is, man." Pound on that link. Give what you can. Help Stout out. Take a little bit out of his hands. May not have to worry about coming from the back right here at Dover. We've seen what some traffic can do here around this concrete canyon. Keep miles off of Stout's car. What's that?
Now, I was going to tell you, I was just going to get you to just cycle up to the front. Big Dogs just took the lead from Little Tank, and the 78 car actually was able to pass this Little Tank too, man. So the 78 is definitely coming.
I know. I was on a soapbox, so you had to cut me off. I get you.
No, man. No. I'm not cutting you off. I appreciate it, dude. No, I appreciate it. I was just trying to. No, you could have kept talking. I was just to get you to flip up there so the guys can see it.
I know.
But no,
I know. Yep, JP, I can definitely put that link out there one more time as we're now keeping an eye on old JR Big Dogs. He's been able to put that 7 up front here in his NNR Premier. So I talked earlier about how well this guy has done in the Bears Turned Down for What League on Saturday nights. He's got 6 or 7 wins in that series. JP, you're part of that as well. You've seen what he's been able to do. So I didn't think he was going to come right into NNR and be, as fast and as competitive and up front as much as he was tonight. But it just goes to show you can't keep a good driver down. Now with just 3 laps remaining, if he can keep it in front of that 78, he might be looking at his first win here.
Yeah, I'm looking here, man, because you got to think the 78 has made he's closed that gap a lot, especially since the beginning of this final stage. And, especially before that last green flag pit stop, he was probably, 30 to 35 car lengths behind. So this has really now turned into what we thought was a 2-car race between, Junior Big Dogs and Little Tank. Well, now, Unforgotten Shadow has taken Little Tank's spot, and it's a 2-horse race between Big Dogs and Unforgotten Shadow. So I know we're coming up here on, I don't know, what do you say, 10 laps to go?
Half a lap. This is it right here.
No, shoot. All right, so this is it. My bad. So let's see here. So, yeah, look at Big Dogs, dude. Big Dogs coming in. Put some respect on my name, baby. Get that dub. Good job, Big Dogs.
There you go. Way to rock that Brandt Camaro all the way to the front. He started close to tail end, Charlie. Congratulations, JR Big Dogs. Your first NNR win right here at probably one of the hardest tracks to get it done, Dover. And at the end of the day, Stout, you're going to see this 7 Brandt Camaro up in Miles the Monster's hand, able to elude him all day long. Wasn't part of any of those cautions, and he was able to get it done. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break while these guys run their cool-down lap and allow the rest of the field to come through. Unforgotten Shadow in that 78. He came in 2, and the 5-0 Lil Tank. First time we'll be able to talk to him, I think, so far this season. But again, your winner here, Dover, in the Xfinity Series in his first race, JR Big Dogs. All right, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out for post-race interviews. I got our top 3 in here. Again, Lil Tank rocking out the 5, Unforgotten Shadow in 78, and JR Big Dogs. Start off with the 5. Tank, I don't think we've really been able to talk all that much so far this season. Congrats on your top 3. You definitely led quite a few laps tonight, both before and after pit stops. Talk us through those last 10 laps.
Oh, man. Well, after that pit stop, because, before the last pit stop of the race, the 7 had passed me, and I knew I could beat him off pit road, and I stayed in front of him for a while, and I thought I was going to be able to hold him off. And then we caught a lap car coming out of turn 4, and it kind of messed up my entry going into 1, so I slipped a little, but it was a good race. I had a very fast car, and 7 just had a little bit faster car.
It really seemed like on the long run, you started to fall by the wayside just a little bit. That really seemed like how the 7 was able to catch you and then ultimately pass you. Do you think if you had the chance for maybe one more pit stop, maybe make a little bit of a tire adjustment, you might have been able to hold off JR?
Me, I wouldn't have changed a thing with that car. at the end of stage 2, I made an adjustment and that made the car better than it had been all night. And I was very happy with it. I think I got the fastest lap time of the race, and I was like, nope, I ain't changing it on my pit stop. So I just left it the same after stage 2.
Well, NNR is notorious for long green flag runs. Definitely got it tonight. A little bit of a rough start there to stage 3, but first and second stage were all green flag. Congratulations on a P3 finish. Going to be pretty good for you in the points tonight. Any shout-outs for you, buddy?
Oh, man. Well, thank you, you, Pete. I got to talk to you some last year when I was in Truck Series, and you here again when I'm in Xfinity. Appreciate you keeping up with us. That's it.
All right, man. Well, we definitely appreciate you. We know that you guys are the ones that are out there putting on the show. Stout Whiskey, you got the one and only Unforgotten Shadow.
Shadow, got a copy?
10-4.
Hey, what's up, Shadow? Hey, man, excellent run tonight. You were a mainstay up front. Personally, I was cycling through the field, but I never saw you lower than, I don't know, 5th or 6th place. You led a bunch of laps. Just talk to us a little bit about your race tonight from start to finish.
Well, I think I started P9. I was just gonna call. I was just gonna cruise and just see how well my car fits with everybody else's. Because it's my first year in NNR, and I'm pretty sure there's like y'all were saying in the chat. There's a lot of talent up here from the top to bottom of the roster, and I was just picking them off one by one, and I got underneath Combat, was leading, and then for the most part, it was just never looked back. But I've always done the whole, because I have a shifter, I always thought about saving fuel and everything, and I used to do, and everybody that I would race with would always hate it. And I actually got a taste of my own medicine tonight from Jay. And congrats for winning both of those stages. But man, oh man, if he didn't do those fuel stages, he didn't save that fuel. I would have had 1 and 2. I would have had first and second stage. But I got second both stages, and actually I got P2 at the end of the race. But like that last. Before that last pit stop, I was just tight, and I was just watching that 5 and 7 just run away from me, and I loosened up my car just a little bit, and the 7 and 5 were actually in distance. They were close enough, but I was actually gaining on them within the last 20 laps, and I was sitting there just watching. I've never watched my leaderboard so much before a race, and finally they called them, and I was right behind them. And then that lap car played in a factor, and I was able to get past the little tank. And then I just saw the end of the tunnel right there, and I was trying so hard to catch JR, but I just couldn't do anything. I just couldn't catch up to him. But definitely congrats to JR and coming in your first night, boss man, and winning it out.
I appreciate it, man. It means a lot.
Well, Shadow, you're a fantastic racer, man. You're an even better dude, and ultimately that's more important than anything, man. Anybody else want to give a shout out to?
Definitely, Mathers, A-Bar, and Bujo, and like I said, just always, we're always practicing, trying to help each other out. A-Bar and Mathers are just really good racers, and Bujo's coming up from another league that I was running in on Fridays, and I got him over here, and just trading and just trading notes and everything. But definitely you, Stout, for coming in and filling up for Rick James. Speed, of course, as always. Alpha, American Ethanol, NNR, J. Paul.
Well, Shadow, dude, heck of a run. I know you're excited about now going over to American Ethanol and turning right at Sonoma. I heard you were a road course master.
I don't know who told you that.
I'm messing with you, dude. We had a discussion a couple weeks ago about that. That's why I brought it up.
Now I'm contemplating whether or not if I want to run.
I hear you, man. Hey, well, good run tonight, dude. And enjoy your week off next week as we celebrate Thanksgiving. And hell of a job.
I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy early Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too, man.
All right. JR Big Dogs 81. I'm not even going to say all that. JR, man, congratulations, buddy. You worked your way over to NNR. I kind of challenged you to it a little bit after the last race over in Papa Bear's turned down for what league? You got like 6 or 7 wins over there, doing a phenomenal job. Walk on into NNR, start tail end Charlie after not qualifying, and here we are talking about your first win on your first night. Buddy, walk us through that race. Walk us through that setup you had for Brant Camaro. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it, Pete. I appreciate it. It means a lot, man. I know you kind of gave me a heads up there on coming over to NNR, and big shout out to Alpha and JP and even Stout, for getting me in here. It was a hell of a race. I worked on the setup for a little while. Tried different presets. Uh, Ended up going with a preset 4. So it really was good on the start. Halfway through, it was good. It started to fall off there at the end, so I kind of knew there. I tried to have to get up the tank as much as I could, but starting last, I just tried to work my way to the field. Just try to take my time, just coming in first race, give everybody some room and uh, pick my corners I wanted to pass people, and had some good pit stops and was able to get up front.
Well, man, you battled your way through. Yeah, there were stage 1 and stage 2 all green flag. Gimbal was able to take both of those stages, as Shadow said, a little bit of fuel strategy there, and sometimes, man, that's just what you got to do. But stage 3 is really where that 7 Camaro really began to shine. Man, you had to work your way all the way through. Talk us through the ability to work your way through traffic. Again, starting from the rear, that's not an easy thing to do at arguably one of the toughest tracks to do it at.
Well, I've had a lot of practice here at Dover here lately, so you really gotta feather the throttle. Just try not to stay wide open to the corner. Just kind of pedal it, and the times that I had my runs on people, I would just take them, and the bottom line is, of course, the best way to be. Um, but yeah, stage 3, I made a small adjustment in stage 3 once I kind of knew where I was at with tank, and yeah, we battled out there for quite a few laps. But I knew in the long run I would be able to catch back up to him, and uh, just kind of conserve my tires there at the end, and knew that with probably 10 to go, I'd really have to kind of push it, and luckily the lap car was kind of gave me a little opportunity to put my nose in there. So, but it was a hell of a race.
Well, man, welcome to NNR. That's about all I can say.
I
Great,
appreciate it, man.
great job, great execution all night long. Definitely had a pretty fast, Camaro. So, man, if this is what it's going to be like for the rest of the season, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And yeah, man, first race, first win. What's left for you? I mean, we're going to Martinsville next after the Thanksgiving break. What are there
Yeah,
any tracks that you're looking forward to that are coming up?
I love Martinsville. Martinsville is I just Martinsville is my poison. So I love Martinsville. Love running there, and I look forward to that race. But yeah, I mean, I like all the tracks. Road courses, road courses. Love road courses. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and super stoked to be over here. Running with the guys, and it means a lot to have me over here.
Well, congratulations one more time. Stout Whiskey, it's been one hell of a night. 200 laps around Dover. The 7 Brant Camaro for JP Big Dogs, able to elude Miles the Monster starting from the rear, sir. Any final thoughts on tonight, buddy?
No, it's just a lot of fun being back in the booth with you and just rekilling like what we did last year. I'm glad you got Rick James with you in the booth now, and like I said, you two guys sound like it's freaking MRN every Wednesday night. Like the 51 cars started, they cut off the backstretch. It's just like holy cow, man, this is a freaking video game. These dudes going nuts, but. No, it's fun to be in here and talk to you. We got to talk about old NASCAR stuff, and I got to call a great race and see great racing. There was only maybe like a 7 or 8 minute stretch there where they just had those 3 cautions. But congrats to the big dogs coming over, and I'm glad he's here. I tried to get him over here after our first race and turned down for what? Told him, hey man, you should come race with us, and just the great job that Forgotten Shadow does. He backed up I don't know how he did last week. I missed the race, but I know he won the race at Daytona, and then of course having a little tank up in the booth. It's always good to have different faces, and we talked about hey, there's 14 or 15 guys in this league or in this division that can win a race, and there's probably I'm not so sure about the trucks, but the Cup, there's 14 or 15 guys that can win as well. So it's just great competition. It's great racers, and a lot of guys that don't do this for self-glory, but do it for the love of racing, and that's what makes NNR so special. So good job, guys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, when I went over a couple weeks back and ran with him at Kansas, JP told me I wasn't good enough to run there either, too. So I took the pole, he took the checkers. Hey, I would have rather the checkers. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for tonight for the NNR Xfinity guys from Dover. Still got one more race tonight, or tomorrow night rather, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock Eastern. Got the NNR Cup guys. They're going to take their turn around the Monster Mile. Definitely don't want to miss that. Please stay tuned to Twitter or Twitch or Facebook, whatever your favorite social media is. We'll have all that information out there. Probably going to be looking at about 25 to 30 field. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. As always, please stay safe, stay healthy, keep apart, wear your mask, do what you got to do so we can all, at some point, hopefully soon, get back to the track as we like to do. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.